No one believed me when I tried to tell them. It's only a myth. It's not real. It was vines, not tentacles. They thought I was pulling a leg. They thought I was lying, making it all up. So I'd have to prove them wrong. And the only way to do that was to have proof that I was telling the truth. I'm not going to mention the name of the lake, but trust me, it's found in Oklahoma. It's a large and beautiful body of water. Nice to fish in, even better to swim in. But over the years, there's been reports that something is hiding in that dark water. Something large, scary, and yes, quite deadly. I don't know where it came from. I wouldn't believe it myself unless I actually had experience with the monster. But I do. But the ridicule and my own friends and family not believing me has forced me to return. So I'm wearing a scuba outfit, looking like some kind of frogman. Had me a snorkel, because I'm not sure how long I'll be down there, including the air tank with it. But I'm not coming back until I have proof of the monster in this lake. Then maybe someone will believe me and rid our community of what could be very well a life-threatening predator in this beautiful body of water. I told my wife, who I might add did not believe me either, that I'm going back to get proof. She told me I was crazy to let it go. But I can't. And I won't. So if this is to be my last recorded dialogue, then let it be known that I go look for the beast. Armed only with a couple of knives and a waterproof flashlight. Well, I spent an hour so far looking for it. By this time, the boats had gone away, and the swimmers were far and few in between, being how it's fall and weather's getting colder now. Had to come up and go back down, because whether you realize it or not, a scuba tank only holds so much oxygen to breathe. I was about to call it quits and try again tomorrow. When I felt something grabbed my leg. Now I know a lot of people would think it's a vine or just algae, but I know better. I'm a strong swimmer and I tried my best to get away, but this thing kept pulling me down. Closer and closer to what I can only guess as a mouth. It pulled me down with such strength. All I could do was fight to try and get away. Now the dark water, just before I dropped my flashlight, I saw another tentacle reach for me. The water was dark like ink. But I was certain one thing. I was not ready to be this thing's meal. I have a wife to get back to. And our family is convinced the truth. So I pulled out my sharpest knife. And I slashed the thing holding my leg. It hit home. I could immediately feel the thing wanting to shrink back into the darkness. Almost letting go of my leg entirely. But I grabbed hold of it and started cutting with my blade. Hacking and cutting as this thing tried to fight off me with the other tentacles it had. Blood was in the water, and the struggle was real. If it did not want to kill me before, it certainly did now. There's no way I'd kill it with my blades. But I could take back a souvenir. And a souvenir I took back with me. As I cut through the last of it, the creature fled back into the inky black darkness with blood in the water from his bleeding tentacle I have in my hand. Forget my flashlight, forget my blade. I had others on me after all. I swam as fast as I could toward the surface, toward land, the coast, something to get out of the water before this thing, now truly pissed off at me, wanted to come back and have revenge. Well, I managed to make it to the surface. I managed to make it to the bank. And what I pulled out of the water was a tentacle. A dark gray with suction cups and tiny hooks attached to it. I took off my fog suit and realized around my left leg, the calf where this thing grabbed hold of me, was a pattern of suction cups. I have the proof I need now. I went back to my truck, picked up my phone and told my wife, sweetheart, I screamed on the radio again, sweetheart, I have it. I have the proof that I need. I'm coming home now to show you. I'll be there in just a few minutes. Wait till I show you what I found. With that, I hung up the phone, fired up the engine in the truck, and drove as fast as I could to my home. When I got there, I was in for a surprise. You see, my wife wasn't alone. As I walked through the door, she tried to warn me, shaking her head, but it was useless. Now, I'm not a short guy. I stand easily 6'3". I'm lean built, was very athletic as a kid. But the two men I saw, dressed in black, from head to toe, made me look small. 6'6", maybe 6'10". They were tall and they were lean. But it wasn't skinny. It was more like a basketball player build. I knew if it came down to a physical fight, I was going to lose. Instead, they called me by my name, Mr. Johnson. You have something that we need to get from you. Don't fight it. No arguing. And you cannot tell another soul what you saw. Hand it over. We know you have it. Give it to us and we'll let you and your wife go. I looked up at them and noticed the skin was pale white. Their eyes looked hollow. And they had no eyebrows. In fact, when they took their hats off, they had not one piece of hair on top of their heads, or face, or body, for all I can imagine. Which kind of freaked me out even more. One placed his hand on what I assumed was a weapon, a firearm, on his hip. What can I do? I hand him the tentacle. I'm like, how did you even know? And the one that was speaking to me looked my way and told me, we know more than you think we do. We know more than you and your community even has a clue on. We'll also know if you tell the authorities about this too. Let them think what they think and get that leg looked at. But for the record, it was a swimming accident. And you were down in the ocean. Because as you know, there's no octopus up here. Mr. Johnson, there never was one. And I suggest you don't go looking for it again. If we come back, it would be unpleasant. Taking the tentacle in his arm, his hand. Him and his silent partner, which was easily the larger of the two, placed their hats back on their head, tipped it in kind of a courtesy fashion, and walked out the door. There was no car in the driveway. There's no indication that they had even arrived at all. And when I looked out the window, I noticed there was nobody there. No one walking. No vehicle driving down the road. I can honestly say this scared me more than that monster that tried to kill me. I ran to my wife, who was visibly shaken. She asked what we're going to do. We got to tell someone. I told her, I'm like, baby, we're not telling anyone. And we're not mentioning this again. My brother's a doctor. He can look at leg without any questions. He won't question me. But I know I speak for you and me both. And I don't want to see those two come back here again. And that is my story of the Oklahoma octopus. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, do yourself a favor. Subscribe to my channel. Like. Ring the bell overhead. That way you don't miss any videos that I had to post from here on out. As I do post new videos every week. Sometimes there's pauses in the middle. I apologize for that because this isn't scripted and it's not written down. It's all coming out of my head as I read it to you. So if the pauses annoy you, I'm sorry. I apologize. But come back next week. See what else creepiness we have in store for you. And remember, beware of those that lurk in the Shadowlands.